Hey guys, it's me, Allie. Hi. It's Monday evening. I'm smudging as usual, saging. Before I go ahead and do this video, and I like to do this as you guys or any of my followers, sorry, that came out a little wrong, know that I like to cleanse my space in my area before I do any videos, any meditations, readings, etc. So, all right, and let's cleanse you. Close your eyes, relax. All right, so we're gonna get into this video. Let me get my booty down on my chair here. Hopefully the lighting's okay. Sorry, I look a little bummy, but it is Monday night. I worked today, I'm tired, and this is what it is. So take it or leave it, right? Okay, so I know that I wanted to continue on with what we were discussing, or what I was discussing in my last video regarding toxic energies, toxic relationships, etc. Sorry, I'm just trying to make my hair look a little more decent, but that's not going to happen tonight, folks. So, okay, so anyway, thank you anyone who watches these videos. I truly appreciate it. If I touch one person, if I give one person insight, to me it's worth doing these videos, whether even one person watches it. So I'm trying to get more followers, so if you do enjoy some of my videos, give me a like, even if it's just to do a good deed of the day. Give me a like and, subscribe to my channel. That would be great. Okay, so like I said, we went over toxic energies. We went over loving yourself, and I did ask that you ask yourself the question of why, if you are in a toxic relationship, why you are in it. Question yourself, why do you think you deserve to be in it, right? So I hope that some of you who watched the last video series on this did ask yourself why, and journal it down, write it down. So I do hope that you did this exercise, and if you did, please, please, please share it with me if you feel comfortable doing so, because I love to hear back. And I'm not a judging person, so whatever you want to say to me, and it stays with me. So just so you know, it's confidential. So when it comes to tonight, we're going to talk about the different types of toxicity, which I said we would do in the last video. We're going to discuss what it is like being in a relationship with someone who's toxic, and I know with someone who is toxic. Sorry, I can't talk tonight. I've had a long day. And maybe some of the characteristics of the other person that may be toxic, so you can recognize maybe some of these traits. And also just a few other things that I just wanted to throw in there. So we're gonna go and I have my notes here, so that's why I'm babbling along here. But basically, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. So we're going to talk about the different types of toxicity first. And some of these I've experienced myself, and it's not just recently in my adult years, but also in my childhood years. And we did talk about that as well in the last, session. Loving yourself, self-care, going back into your childhood and really kind of digging deep and how you may, you have to be true to yourself when it comes to this. And I'm always going to say that, right? Always. You're going to be so sick of hearing me say some of the same things every reading, or not reading, but video. And it's only because I'm a firm believer in it. And I just want to instill that in you. This is why I do what I do. I want to teach you. The different types of toxicity. There's obviously physical, right? So toxicity and abuse, and maybe I should say it that way. I don't like to necessarily use the word abuse anymore, because toxic to me is abuse. So, you know, it's a form of abuse. And it also has to do with the person. And a person can have a dark cloud over them and be toxic, right? In their everyday life, no matter what they do, actions that they make, words that they speak, they can, you know. So I hope you know you kind of get where I'm getting at here. There's emotional toxicity, you know, meaning gaslighting, ghosting, verbal, hurtful words, basically, and that could be verbal abuse, verbal toxicity. Something that, you know, I kind of learned this recently, but also I've known it for a long time. I might be contradicting myself, but what's called reaction abuse. And this is something I find very interesting, because I used to tell my ex, and a lot of people, action, reaction, right? So when you do something that hurts me, I'm going to react to it, obviously. And I don't want to be punished for that reaction, right? And no one deserves that action, reaction. So if you hurt someone, expect the other person's reaction to not be, oh gosh, thank you. You know, of course you're going to be hurt and upset, and you're going to react in that manner. So there is such a thing as reaction abuse. And when someone hurts you, and because you react to that hurt, this is the interesting part, and what boggles my mind psychologically, how people think, is it is turned around on you. And maybe some of you guys can get this, right? But that reaction that you have to their hurt is turned around on you, like the tables are turned, and they're turned on you by that person who hurt you. And it's like them saying, you're the one. It's your fault. Look at the way you're reacting. You're reacting crazy. You're the crazy one. It's like gaslighting, right? We'll get into that. But basically that the tables are turned, like I said, and turned around on you by the person who hurt you in the first place. And that boggles my mind. It's like, you're the one, look how you're reacting. I always say action equals reaction, right? So remember that. And you may want to say that to someone sometime, because some people don't look at it that way, whether that's common sense or I don't know what, the way they think. I'm always fascinated psychologically by the way people think and the things that they do. So there's also, and I know this word is thrown around so much nowadays, but I have learned from personal experience that there is such a thing as narcissistic abuse. And I know, like I said, the word narcissist and narcissistic has been, you know, narcissistic people, he's narcissistic, she's narcissistic. It's been thrown around so much, but there is such a thing as a narcissist. There is such a thing as the different traits that they do all carry. And the more that I studied it, due to my own personal experience with someone who I was with who was, I'm a firm believer, is a narcissist. And there are different types of narcissists, and you may want to Google that or whatever yourself and do your own homework on that and study up on that if you feel like you are in a narcissistic abusive relationship or toxic relationship, okay? So, but narcissistic abuse is gaslighting, ghosting, like I said in the other form, emotional abuse, basically, very similar to narcissistic abuse. Gaslighting, ghosting, blame shifting, right? So kind of like reaction, action, reaction, that's blame shifting. Mirroring you, especially mirroring you at the beginning of the relationship, like, oh my God, I like that too. Or, and you know, some people are genuine and they really do, but then there are the ones that they're mirroring you because they want to get you under their wings, so to speak. And narcissistic people like to do that, and they like to choose insecure people at the time to be their, you can say victim. I don't like to use that word either, but that's the only word I can come up with at the time that will work. I hope I'm making sense. They make you feel crazy, or they could make you feel crazy. And they'll tell everyone the same. They have flying monkeys, so to speak. It's people that they know that will like do their dirty work for them, as far as like social media spying, things like that. Just really toxic, you know. And I always will say, like, sometimes I'll see dark clouds over people's heads, and that tells me that there's something going on there, and it is toxic. And so being in a toxic relationship can be completely draining. And as I said in the last video, it happens often that we do not realize how fucked up, excuse my French, that relationship, marriage, or situation was, until we have stepped out of it and we're able to look inside from the outside. So those are the differences in toxic relationships that I've experienced myself, that I've studied myself, and everything that I've done, just so you know, self-studied. I don't have a PhD in anything. I don't have a master's in anything. I've been like this since I was very young. I've been a psychic medium ever since I can remember. So, but these are the different ways that you may be able to recognize someone who has toxic traits. So whether you're starting to date again, whether you're a man or a woman, you may want to look at some of these traits, write them down, become one with them, so that way you don't end up with someone who may be fabulous because they're mirroring you at the beginning of the relationship, but as you go into it, you learn that that's not quite the case. So I'm going to be working on the next video, and I'll surprise you with what it's going to be about. I did say something about getting out of a relationship, a toxic relationship, and we will get into that. Although, like I said before, I can't tell you exactly how to get out of one. That comes with actually the first video that you may want to watch again, which comes with loving yourself, because until you get that security within, and a lot of insecure people, women or men, stay in these types of toxic relationships because they're insecure. So the more that you love yourself and embrace yourself and start stepping up to the plate for yourself and your soul, and really self-care, all of the things that I spoke about in that first video, watch it again, because it will really help you get on the path to self-healing and getting out of anything that no longer serves your purpose. Okay? So I hope this helped, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, by the way, sorry that it's taken me 2 weeks to do this. I've had a lot going on. So if I didn't say that at the beginning of the reading, I'm so sorry, or the session, I keep saying reading. But this session, this series, know that I just had a lot on my plate, and I will try and make this next session within this week, if not next week, but I think it will be this week. So have a good evening, everyone. Take care. Bye.